It's probably the hardest for me so far in prep. A masterpiece, if you ask me. I'm so excited.
We have some exciting news to share. Let's go train.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube. For those that are new here, my name is Elle. I'm a personal trainer, and this is my Prep Diary series leading up to my first time competing on stage as a natural bikini bodybuilder. If you've been keeping up with the Prep Diary series so far, you will know that I am now 8 weeks out from my first competition, and it is going so fast. It's been an amazing journey so far, and I really am going to soak up the last 8 weeks of prep to just take in everything that it is teaching me, because I think apart from, you know, hopefully getting to stage day and just being so incredibly proud of what I've done, my physique, it's taught me so many other things that I'm so grateful for, that I'm so looking forward to after show to be able to apply all of these things that I've learned, not only about myself, but the routine that I've installed, the discipline, the mindset that has come all with the prep so far, that is no doubtably going to just change my life after show for sure as well. So yeah, I'm feeling grateful. I think last week and the week before, probably the week before more so, was probably the hardest for me so far in prep. We did struggle with some fatigue, some brain fog, and just generally just feeling a little bit tired. Shall we say tired? I think that's relevant. I had a better week last week. We made some changes, and luckily it actually sort of landed exactly where our planned deload was, which had done wonders for me personally, like not only my body but my mind. So I really feel like I'm starting this week feeling like a brand new person. I've had some calorie changes across the last sort of week whilst I was deloading, and we sort of then brought that forward into the new week as well, and just the weekend just gone. And it was so nice because I was able to just enjoy a little bit more food, have a little bit more flexibility with actually eating out one of the days, which in prep is not something that normally happens. But I just thought to myself, like, I went out for a walk with my partner, I had the calories to use, and we definitely was going somewhere that was something I could really quite easily track. So we went out to do a nice 5K slow walk in the morning, and then we went to a breakfast spot, which is like a really nice brunchy spot, which does like super like healthy breakfast. I basically had like a breakfast muffin with 2 poached eggs and some salmon and coffee, and I was just like, this is amazing. This is exactly what I needed, because I think it's important, isn't it, I think, to have those, you know, periods of time throughout prep which just takes you away from the day-to-day logistics and just gives you that that boost for your mental well-being as well. And so it was really enjoyable, and so we had a really, really nice time. And then I was able to as well just increase some carbs as well, so some foods that I sort of stuck to primarily the foods that I've been eating on prep, but just having more of it. And again, it was just nice to have a little bit more food and fuel. And now going off the back of my deload, a little bit of a slowdown in prep, a little bit more food. We're starting the new week feeling strong and feeling ready to go. I've got my training penciled in today. So I wanted to leave it a little bit longer this morning because I had some admin bits to do anyway. So I had my client check-ins to do. I wanted to make sure that I got in 2 meals before I train as well. And so I've had breakfast number 1, and I'm also gonna have breakfast number 2, which I'll show you guys exactly what it is. And I'm also just gonna show you guys, because it's basically a high calorie day again today, what is going down in the kitchen, because I'm so excited. Again, I get more food before tomorrow we sort of go back to the grind, and I'm excited for the final 8 weeks to see what we can do and what I can actually bring to that stage come September. So with that being said, let's make breakfast number 2. And I am literally so bloody excited for this because I get to have a bagel. And you guys, I think I might have mentioned it on one of my other vlogs. Like we have these bagels that I used to obviously eat just before prep, that I used to get from Ocado, and they're amazing. And obviously they're very calorific, I won't lie, because they're huge. I'll show you exactly how big these bagels are, but I haven't really been able to obviously eat them on prep because of the calorie requirements. And so today, with the calories being higher, I was like, I'm having a bagel. I'm working everything around everything else, and I'm having a bagel as that pre-workout carb fuel. Look at the size of that bad boy, for reference. And I have a big head. But yeah, so that's the choice of today's pre-workout fuel. I have already eaten one breakfast this morning, which I showed you guys. I just sort of whipped out the fridge the egg white fritters that I made for this week's meal prep, because we are having a slight change to my training structure, where I am planning to go into the gym before I start my morning clients and complete my cardio session before I train. So the plan will be early morning rising, getting in for that cardio session, doing that block of clients that I do, which typically is around 5 to 6 hours of gym floor work, and then I'll be able to sort of eat some meals in between then, and then be able to train. So I needed something that I could basically take with me to the gym so that I can get my cardio in, then eat my breakfast after whilst being at the gym, do my clients, and then yeah, get on with the day. So I've prepped those for the next like 3 to 4 days so that can help me still get in my nutrition whilst adapting to a little bit of a change to training. The reason why we've done that is just because I found it was getting harder to do the cardio at the end of the session, because I've done pretty much 6 hours of client work. I've been up since 5. I've hit my training session because I always prioritize my training first. And then I would just find on some days, specifically the leg days, I would say, it was harder to be able to then be like, yay, let's get on the step master. I feel fantastic. it was tough. I did it, which, you know I can, but I just wanted to just rejiggle things around a little bit and just see where things are going to be better placed. And so I'm going to try it. I'm going to sort of move things around slightly, see if I prefer that way of doing it, which I think I will. I think it will definitely be easier for me to be able to spread out those sessions a little bit in the day, and then be feeling good and sort of, you know, still prioritizing some sort of like rest in the evenings so that I can keep up with the early morning starts that I have as well. So sleep is a huge priority. I mean, right now my body pretty much is in such a good routine at the moment, in terms of I pretty much wake myself up at 5 a.m. every day before my alarm even goes off. And I'm not mad about it because I've always liked having a morning routine somewhat. It's normally been on and off, obviously early anyway, because I've always been on the gym floor from early, but I always found it to be sometimes a struggle. And I think now, obviously, with having so much to do in a day and just really wanting to get up and make sure that I'm in a good position to not have to like rush through things, and just like enjoy doing everything that I'm doing, giving myself enough time, you know, making sure that I'm up. I do my priorities in the morning that make me feel good before I start the busy day. So I like waking up. I like having that like time to myself in the mornings. I typically will sit, have whatever choice of drink that I'm having, whether it's the mud water drink, coffee blend that I have. I've been trying matcha, coffee. I pretty much have it all randomly depending on what I fancy or feel like for the day. Journaling and just, yeah, spending some time with myself in the mornings has been such a game changer for how I actually enter the day. And so whilst I think going into this new week, it's going to change a little bit again, because like I said, I actually will be getting up early to try and get off to the gym before clients. I won't have that time, but where I can, I will still be enforcing that. And it might just be that it might just look a little bit differently in terms of, you know, whilst I'm on the cardio machine itself, is there anything that I can maybe do just to, you know, bring in that sort of morning routine or some sort of like reflection or journaling that I can actually do just in a slightly different way, but I'm still very much on a cardio machine on my own. That is still my time to do and enforce things that might help with how I then start my day after that. So we'll definitely be rejiggling around things this week, finding my feet a little bit with the new routine, but I'm excited and I am generally like ready to go and just get back to it, get back in for the cardio training, full training week this week. So I'm very much looking forward to the craziness that comes with prep. I said this the other day, actually. I generally feel like I thrive when things are a little bit crazy in terms of maybe things to do. Like I do generally prefer having routine, you know, structure, to-do lists, like really like penciling in what I need to do in the day, like to a T. I personally love that approach. So I'm definitely thriving with this aspect to prep. So you guys, I get nearly 2,000 calories today. And that at this stage in prep is like heaven sent. And I'm so looking forward to the meals that I've got planned for today. I'm gonna crack on with making this now. I'll show you guys the finishing result of my humongous bagel. And then we're gonna get off to train. A masterpiece, if you ask me. I'm so excited. This is gonna go down a treat. But yeah, pre-training fuel ready to be demolished. And then I'll be taking you guys with me to the gym. And I'll probably do a little like voiceover for you guys today in the gym so that I can give you some tips, maybe some form suggestions, show you guys exactly what I'm doing so that maybe you can take it away with you if you want to try anything that I'll be doing in my glutes and ham session today. Okay, it's time for a quick outfit change before we head to the gym because I need to get out of these sweatpants. Sweatpants? What am I, American? Tracksuit bottoms, which I really don't want to. I don't know what's come over me recently. I'm just like, the looser, the baggier, the better. But it doesn't quite work very well when you're training legs. So I was gonna go with this new little play suit that I got from Athlete, I think it is, which I've been wanting to wear for the last few weeks, but obviously with the deload and everything else, I just was like, just can't really be asked, just throw on whatever. And today I'm feeling like, let's put on a new fit. So I'm gonna try this to see how it looks. And hopefully it will give me that boost of energy to really just go in and crush this session. Because I don't know about you guys, but if you look good and you feel good, you do good. Okay, what do we think? It's got a cute little like back detailing to it. Kind of makes my bum look small, but I don't think it's making it look, I just think it's shrinking. But you can't have it all. You're either losing body fat L or you're growing your glutes. They both don't work very well together. But I like it, it's comfortable. And that's the main thing. Comfort is key. Let's go train. Okay, so the first exercise of the session, we have a hip thrust variation. For this training day, I use the hip thrust machine, and I like to always get in to do a warm-up set or two before I actually go into my working set. So I'll typically do 6 to 5 reps of a lighter load and then work up to my working set. It's so important to do your warm-up sets, especially for those bigger exercises, because not only from a warm-up perspective, but more from a neurological perspective, where you want that brain to body to just get in tune before you load it with the heavy stuff. Body's there nicely prepared, and so I made my way into my working set. I do 2 sets of this exercise, and I'm just really focusing on making sure that I not only get a good stretch at the bottom, but I also make sure that I'm pressing hard enough through my feet, driving through my hips, squeezing the glutes at the top to get into that nice top position of the hip thrust. Moving on to one of my favorites for the glute medius in particular is a cable kickback. Now, when you're trying to target a specific area of the glutes, in my case, glute medius, you'll see that I'm kicking out in a slight angle. So I allow my foot to almost sort of rotate back in towards my standing foot, but then I kick out in a nice 30-degree angle. You want to keep the rest of your body nice and still, so you can see I'm using the 2 racks at the side to brace myself and create that torso stability that we want, so that the hips and the body isn't moving around too much. Third on the list for me today was some seated hamstring curls, and you can most definitely see by the level of focus required that this exercise just hits my soul differently. But I'm really focusing on getting into a really good stretch and then making my way down for a full squeeze at the bottom. You can also see that I am using my arms to brace against the knee pad just to create a little bit more stability. Moving on to another favorite of mine for the glutes is a beast stance RDL variation. I use a machine for this, but you most definitely can use a dumbbell or a barbell and it will still be just as effective. For me personally, I do like to use straps because my rep range is quite high, and for one of my sets I do up to 15 reps. I don't like to have my forearms or my wrists become a limiting factor to how much my legs can do. So for me, I strap up and I do 2 sets of these, 1 heavy set 8 to 10 and then 1 lighter load for 12 to 15. Bulgarian split squats were next on the menu, and I have been absolutely loving these. I do these as a supported variation because personally I feel this a lot more when I'm able to brace myself, create a little bit more stability in the movement, and just allow myself to really focus on the glutes themselves. And like the unilateral B stance RDL variation I did before this, I will rest between both legs. Personally feel if you are using a weight on a unilateral exercise that is good enough to get you to or close to failure, then you will need to rest between those legs. At the end of the day, we are training the legs singly, and so we want to give the same level of intention and intensity to both sides. Moving on to some seated leg extensions, and this seated leg extension in my opinion isn't the best one I use, and I do find my hip moves around an awful lot, so I use a band to help strap my pelvis into place before then completing the movement. I did 2 sets of these, 1 heavy 8 to 10 and then 1 lighter load for 12 to 15 reps. Then actually supersetted this with my last exercise of the session, some standing calf raises, not for any particular reason, just because at this stage I wanted to get the session done. But when you're doing your calf raises, you really want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that full stretch at the bottom and then making your way up into a squeeze at the top. That is it, ladies. That is my glutes and ham session of the week completed. Started the week strong for sure. As I said to you guys earlier, the deload most definitely did wonders, because I think like the last 2 sessions I've done coming out of my deload have definitely been the best sessions in a good few weeks. I think if you could imagine, we've had such a long time in prep now, and of course with that, accumulation of fatigue is going to happen. And so I think I very much was at that point prior to the deload where everything just felt hard in terms of movement. You know, when your body's feeling tired, we most definitely can get through a session, and I think we are all a lot obviously stronger than what we think, but you feel the difference, don't you? You know, when you feel recovered, your body feels good, the movements feel good, the mind to body was there for the last 2 sessions, and for that I'm so grateful for, because it most definitely was not there before we deloaded. So yeah, I'm really happy that everything's feeling good, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the voiceover for this week's training, because I really wanted to make sure that on this vlog I gave something back to you guys so that you could take some educational stuff away with you, some valuable stuff that you can input into your training, because as you're here supporting me, I want to be there to be able to give back to you. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If at all you have any questions, exercise wise, training wise, whatever, leave it in the comments, because as I said, I'm here to also give back to you guys and help provide as much value and support as I can. But I feel good, session went well. I'm now very hungry for my meal number 3, so I shall take you guys back with me so that you can see how I am refueling after my leg session. Oh, and before I forget, guys, I have recently received back my check-in feedback from my coach for this week's check-in, and we have some exciting news to share. So initially, I had signed up for one show. I signed up for one show because we wanted to play it safe. I think there's so many things that can happen in prep, and of course it's my first time competing. We had no idea how things were going to go, how the physique was going to come along, how I was going to be feeling, and he's basically sort of reassured me that everything is going really well. He's really happy with how the physique is progressing. He can really see me doing well in a few other shows that he has in mind that he wants me to think about signing up for, which is exciting. The plan is a lot, like they're fairly close together, which is good, because what you don't really want to do is stay in like peak condition for too long, and so I much would rather have the shows fairly close together. Of course it's like, holy crap, I had in my head one show, and now we're possibly thinking about 4. I think it's 4. Don't hold me to that. I'll probably update you guys next time we catch up, because we touched on the conversation today on check-ins. I need to speak back to my coach, and then we'll work out a bit more of a plan to see what exactly we might do there. But it's exciting, and it makes me almost feel like, okay, we're in a good space, because I think you're always going to have doubts in yourself whether you're good enough. I think that's just human nature, and for me it does come quite natural to not be overly confident, and it might not seem that way because you'll see me obviously vlogging and posting, and I think generally if you are showing up on social media, you definitely need somewhat of confidence for sure. But I most definitely wouldn't say like I'm my most confident self, or I'm not the most confident of people. I always do have a bit of that inner voice being like, can you do this? Are you good enough? But you know, as I said, I think that's pretty much human nature, and it is installed in us in a way. But it was nice to hear that from my coach today, because it kind of then makes me feel like someone else
can see what I may be capable of, or where they think I can really take this, which is really exciting. So I thought I would share that with you guys. So I will keep you posted for sure on the exact plans for shows. And yeah, we could potentially be competing in more than one show.
Okay, we're back home, showered, and in my comfies again, which I'm very happy about. And I'm just gonna put together post-workout meal, which is very straightforward today, but I've just heated up some rice. I don't actually have rice on the menu much for like this week's plan of food. So I've just gone ahead and heated up half of this, which I'm gonna have with basically some chicken, a little bit of salad just to create a little bit more volume to the meal, some micronutrients, vitamins and minerals and all the good stuff. And then we've got a few more meals left for the day. So I already have my pre-cooked chicken ready to go. So all I need to do is weigh everything up and eat. I don't know why I just didn't heat up the chicken with the rice, but anyway, we will do it separately. I need 100 grams of chicken breast, which I'll try not to heat up for too long because it's already cooked. You always want to be careful about how long you then reheat it, because you really don't want chewy chicken, which for me personally is a huge hate. Just gonna work that in for like 1 minute, but probably take that out a lot sooner. And no, I didn't wash my hair, for anyone wondering. It most definitely needed a wash, but seems as I'm back in the gym tomorrow and I'm training cardio in the morning and upper, I plan to do it after. Shit. See? That is not what you need. Sometimes I actually just eat it cold, to be fair, but I fancied it hot today and now I kind of regret it. So sometimes I'll just like heat up my carb and then just add it like to it cold, and then it's all like semi-warms it in a way. But anyway, most part of that chicken usually is eaten cold anyway, because I'm normally having the chicken at the moment with a salad, and so I don't actually need to reheat it. But today I fancied having it hot, and now I don't know if I regret doing that, but we shall see if it tastes chewy. And that is it. That is my post-workout meal. Let me see if the camera will pick that up. We've just got 100 grams of chicken. I've got 125 grams of basmati rice. I've got 50 grams of mango, and I've got 80 grams of some shredded lettuce, some kimchi, and also some sriracha mayo. And if you don't know about kimchi, you need to try it, because honestly, when it says on here that it will transform any meal, it's generally not lying. I don't know if it's just me, but I'm such a fan, and I just feel like it generally does make every dish that I add it to like 100 times better. So yeah, if you don't know about kimchi and you haven't tried it, this brand is a good one, because you can get some bit funny tasting kimchis. So if you've tried it in the past and you were like, I don't really like it, then give this one a go, because it actually is nice. Because I too have tried other brands in the past and have been a bit like, oh no, I don't like it. And then once I tried this, I'm like absolutely in love with it. So yeah, give it a go. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this. And then I've got some admin to get on with now back at home. I've just got some final bits that I need to finish off for the day. I then have a bit of like home bits to do. I did do like a bit of a reset yesterday. I did clean the house, mop the floors, but I've got some washing to put out, all the fun stuff. And so I want to put the wash out. I want to get all of those bits done, and then hopefully settle down for the evening, I want to say. But I do have some steps to still get in. So I might get like half an hour walking in, plan after my admin, then do the house bits. Then I can settle down for the evening and potentially just start stitching together this video, because I'm very conscious that every time I get a YouTube video out to you guys, I'm like 2 weeks behind schedule. I know initially when I started this channel, I was like, you're gonna have 13 YouTube videos coming your way when I initially started at 13 weeks out. And that hasn't quite gone to plan, okay? I'm trying, guys, I really am. It will get better. For now, I'm gonna enjoy my food. So we ended up combining admin with the steps on my little makeshift walk-in desk, which I most definitely didn't have to hand when I started this prep. And I quickly realized that I need one, but instead of buying one, I thought, let me just make one. And it just goes to show, doesn't it? Most things are a want, not a need, because you most definitely can make do with what you have. And the dining room table seems to be working very well. Just such a good way to get in a bit of added movement whilst doing other tasks, like combining the two, most definitely for me in prep as well, of course, because there's always so much to do business-wise, client-wise, and then of course with my steps being so high, combining the two is most definitely the way forward for me to be able to really tick those off. And so yes, steps are going in now. I probably do about half an hour, 45 minutes of walking, finish off today's admin tasks, and then we will be settling down for the last few meals. Well, I say meals, it's a meal and then a snack, but I'm looking forward to it because my little snack is something that I've just been craving today, and so it's definitely going to go down a treat. And then hopefully be in bed by 8:30, get into my reading, get an early night because we have an early start tomorrow. All right guys, I'm back in the kitchen for the final meal of the day, plus my little sweet treat snack. And so today I have some sweet potato, turkey mince and avocado, of course, my favorite meal. And then as my little sweet finish of the day, I'm just gonna be having some rice cakes. We've got some peanut butter, some jam again, and then I'm gonna add on some strawberries and banana as well. I had this the other day because I feel like I've just been craving it, and I do feel like for like the evening, it's a bit lighter on the stomach. So instead of like going for something like oats, where I could dress it up pretty much the same with like, you know, your peanut butter and sort of fruits and stuff, I do just find that to be a little bit too heavy. So I'm liking having the rice cakes, and whilst I've been having my higher calorie days, I sort of snuck them in the other day and I very much enjoyed it. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have that again over the course of these higher calorie days for sure. So that is the choice, and it's all ready for me, ready to go. So all I simply need to do is just start dishing it out, and I can eat. I do try to make sure that my last meal of the day isn't too late. I don't like to have it too late in case it causes issues with my sleep. So I generally try to keep to like a 7:30 cut-off point for any food to be in. So that just gives it time for it to digest. I don't then disrupt any of my sleep, because I do try to get into bed fairly early as well because of the early rising, and so 7:30 seems to work well for me. So last meal is going down now. It's 7 o'clock now, which pretty much puts me bang on target for getting in that final meal of the day. And that is it, guys. That is exactly how I'm ending my day and how my little refeed over the last few weeks have basically looked. And I very much have enjoyed it. I'm very, very grateful to have had an amazing few days, which has really put me in the mindset now to get back stuck into prep and just really soak up the last 8 weeks that I have left. Very much have enjoyed the more food, but I'm more than ready to dive back into the grind of prep. For now, I'm gonna enjoy my last meal of the night, but I do wanna thank you guys for being here, and it really does mean a lot to me to see you guys subscribing, liking, commenting on my videos that I'm posting, because it really does help with me getting out there, potentially growing my community of people that want to join me on this journey. But it also really does help for me to understand what it is that you're enjoying video-wise, content-wise, and it just helps me know what to bring to you on my YouTube channel. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and do make sure to subscribe as well, because it generally does mean the world. So thanks again for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.